Hey everyone, welcome to episode 7 of Ballz. It's going to be great. It's the only sports podcast where a bunch of comics that don't watch sports talk about sports. What else can you hope for? Dino, hit that glorious intro music for me, please. Man, you could tell I had a great Christmas because I was out of breath halfway through that fucking intro. I've done it for 7 episodes and I still get starstruck. Like, oh, me first? It's only happened 600 times. What's going to happen? Oh, well, hell, welcome to Ballz, where I guess second try to do this. This is the only sports podcast where a bunch of comics talk about sports and we don't really care about it. We got the my foreign correspondents, Dino the Genetic Marvel. I'm on hitting on a fucking roll. Alternative Sports, Bill Queen, new addition, Gregory Carl, esports correspondent. I don't know if he can afford a PlayStation 2 where he's at or what he's doing, but he's definitely going to talk about some sort of games, I'm sure, in the future, or not. If you haven't realized, all these titles don't mean shit. Jay for Mainstream Sports, and I'll be on Redneck Sports. Your host, Tim Loss. Give yourselves a round of applause. Comment below, like, share, and man, that was nice. I had high energy, not well executed, high energy, and that's what we like to do here. I'm going to open up the floor out to you guys, especially new Gregory, as Dino catches his breath from my awesome hosting abilities. Please tell me, how was your Christmas? How was your week?
Oh, it's awesome, man. I got a dog and a new guitar. I mean,
a dog and a new guitar?
Yeah. All he's missing is a 6-pack of Heineken.
Yeah, I was like, did you get your own country music song to go along with it?
I got a 12-pack of Miller High Life, so I'm working on it.
I mean, I love you. We got a dog last year. Jay's losing his breath.
Jay, you gotta mute your mic, son. You're gonna die.
He is a rat. He is the breathy radio disc jockey. He's giving us the smooth jams. Hey, I'm Jay. What's going on? Oh man. Hey, yeah, give it up for Gregory Carl. He's going to be filling in, and a new addition. This is your first show, and thank you for coming. Anyone else do anything awesome? Bill's in county jail, normal, so I don't even think I should. But no, Bill, how was your Christmas?
Oh, I just wanted to show I'm a step ahead of Gary. I can get locked up and still make the show.
Shots fired. Well, I think Gary had to work. And last time he worked while doing the podcast, I don't think his I'd say employers or /suppliers would appreciate him doing that. So I think that's why he's off in the seclusion doing what he needs to do. But hey, Gary's always here in spirit.
Well,
even when he is here, he's usually here in spirit. Have you seen his eyes? They're very glossy.
There's a lot of spirits here.
There's a lot.
I've seen it with my own 2 eyes.
So, anything else? I'm happy. It was official. I got more presents than both my dogs. First year in 5 years. I came in number 3 in the family. So I thought it was pretty fucking cool. Fuck you guys for not giving
Congratulations.
me
Congratulations.
Look at me. Like, yeah. They're like, you all looked at me like, I don't know. The dogs seem nice. They should probably get a little bit more. This seems like
I bet the dogs humped your legs too for their Christmas gift.
Oh, no, they do different things. They like to poop on the floor. And
Tim humped the dog's leg.
Before we get into it, I did read that if you hump the dog, they won't hump you anymore. That's a lie. You can get into that whenever you see fit. Either way, me and my littlest dog are on a whole new level. That's all I'm going to say about that. We good? Anything else, Christmas? Big Christmas? You're seeing my Christmas present, not the feet, the green screen. The feet will come into play later. Don't shy away.
Call back
I had
to
a good
last week's
Christmas.
episode. I made sure I didn't stop eating until I was sweating from eating.
Man, that's a new low.
Oh man. Well, that's good. I had ham and tons of it, but it was already cut ham, and I just don't like that shit. Like I like where you can just grab in and take the chunk with you, and like a barbarian. That's the way you need to be. Pre-cut ham just makes me feel so demasculated. Like motherfucker, I can cut my own ham. Why are you doing it? But that's just me. Dino, what'd you eat for what'd you slather in ricotta and eat? No, I'm kidding.
From now we're gonna do this? Is that really?
No, I had to do a real quick pop shot because I'm insecure about our cheeses down here. You saw right through it, but I'll be candid with you. How was your Christmas?
No, it was fine. You know what? It was fairly relaxed. We what did we have? We had lamb today. There's a crown of lamb.
Get the fuck out of here!
What
lamb?
Yeah. It was like a crown of lamb, like the fancy ones with the little hats on the feet.
I've seen it in photos. I know what you're speaking of. I usually get it in the gyros that are mispronounced at the gas station called gyros or something. You want a gyro? And it's usually pre-frozen and not
or
lamb.
gyro. Oh, God.
Gyro is the correct pronunciation.
There you go.
I went to the Greek place today because the sirloin steak's on sale every Sunday.
Oh, yeah. Dude,
Bill,
that's for like the third consecutive week he's been shouting out these steaks. I'm a little fucking jealous.
I go every Sunday.
Every Sunday.
Because they're on sale. I proudly walk into the Greek restaurant and order a cheap steak. Fuck all
medium rare.
Yeah.
Of course. Who here?
They give me the salad. It's trash. Like the olives got pits in them. They dump some other goofy shit on it. Get out of here. I'll eat the 4 pieces. They cut a tomato into 4s. I'll eat that tomato. The rest of that salad can go fuck itself. Greek food sucks.
Oh, come on. We're starting early. This is not a food podcast. And Dino's getting ready to have an aneurysm. We did so many shots of Greek food.
I won't have Greek food hated. Okay. It is ranked among some of the best in the world. The cuisine that will keep you thin. That's being in Canada made me fat, sir. Not being Greek, okay? And on top of that, just because you don't know how to eat it doesn't make it bad, okay?
Oh no, I'm sure your grandma's recipes are great.
Let's not bring anyone's grandma. All right, I have to be the referee. I'm throwing a flag. We should bring anyone's grandmothers involved.
That's too far, Bill. Even for an inmate like you, okay?
We have limits here at Sports Balls
and standards. Not for feet.
Maybe not that. We have limits for sure.
Limit, yeah. You know what? That's right. Yeah, limits more than standards.
We definitely don't have lemons in Dino's water, it looks like. That's just pure water. Get it.
That's vodka.
It's actually vodka.
Vodka with the straw.
Do we I hate to be because it's a new year. Do we still have sponsors for Sports Balls?
That's a great question. I think we should. Why not? Yeah.
Why not? Because they've been so loyal to it so far.
It's still December. We have number 1. We have our original Captain Surge White Nuts, the extreme drink for lovers. It will never die. And realistically, this also dissolves ice if it builds up in your driveway. You could sprinkle it and it'll get rid of it there.
Buy it at the gas station.
Antifreeze, baby.
It's stronger than antifreeze, not quite coolant. It's that middle line. Where, you know what? Like, it's got a lot of usages and can serve a lot of purposes. Of course, there's Brick and Equity. Give them a call, guys, if you're buying or selling home in the Ohio area, or you're looking to invest in a self-directed IRA. And, of course, Ohio City Barbecue. If you mention that you saw them on Eargasm, you can get 15% off. But go there, have some food, have a good time. It's very enjoyable. Of course, if you want to sponsor a show, you can hit us up on the Cash App or onto Patreon and become one of our glorious overlords and provide guidance to all of us wayward people.
Nice. Hey, I think the sponsorship went to Gary. As soon as he got that sponsorship with White Nuts, he's gone. He's on that White Nuts money.
Celebrity affects people differently.
That's what she said.
Oh, Oh, we need a tally. I think that's first in sports ball history of many. That's what she said. But I have a feeling there's going to be thousands, and rightfully so. We actually, you might be thinking, what's these crusty feet? What's this picture of my feet doing up here? They're not. You can reverse Google image them, but we're actually talking our main topic, our main sport, and we're actually going to dissect it for you. We're changing formats. We're going to talk about toe wrestling at the end of the segment. We're going to decide, is toe wrestling really a sport or not? And little information about toe wrestling, because the Wikipedia is fucking awful. Because for some reason, if you look at the Wikipedia for toe wrestling, it's really got some messed up facts that aren't true, and it kind of seems to insult the creators in England a little bit. So definitely check out the wiki. I think someone got a little bit mad, maybe got second place and didn't like it. But it actually started in 1976. It was a game invented by 4, I'm going to say drunks. It says drinkers, but I'm going to read between the lines. These people at an inn, they're drinking. I'm sure they got drunk once or twice. And they started, what happened was they wanted to invent a sport. They started a few other sports beforehand that just didn't work, like push of war, which is basically a pole and you're pushing them back and forth, and ear wrestling, which did become something later on with, I think, rubber bands, but just didn't work. Mostly because I think if you're that drunk, you don't want to be that close face-to-face with people. That's just bad news. And same, if you're drinking, probably don't need weapons like a giant metal pole to that probably is overkill. So it started there in the 70s. And it just kind of went up from there. The people that invented it, Alan Nasty Nash, is a 14-time champion and considered a legend in the sport. And he's still the sport in some sources. He's lost the title, but either way, he's considered the main champion. Main women's champion, because why not segregate foot wrestling? I don't want to touch some female's foot. That'd be ridiculous. Lisa Wrinkle Toes Stinson is a woman, and they have a kiddie division. Why not? I'm not kidding. Dolly Millwood is the kids champion. And we're just going to go head first into it. Toe wrestling, basically, they connect feet like that, and you shove your opponent's feet to the ground. You basically lock your 2 big toes for people at anchor and everything, and you try to push your feet down, and whoever pushes the foot down first wins. In the Wikipedia and some articles, it did say thumb wrestling was the stupid cousin of it, which I just thought was pretentious. Like, what the fuck are you? Your feet. But
yeah, because it's not like realistically, this is foot wrestling, not toe wrestling. Like, you grapple with the toes, but it's your entire foot. Whereas thumb wrestling, that's all thumbs. It's not.
They were just playing with each other's feet, man. You know how people do when they like somebody else, and they want to do the dilly dally with them at the end of the night.
That's true. Maybe in the UK they didn't have Grindr or or the Craigslist, so they had to find different ways. This was the 70s. I ain't gonna lie. And it might be, if people are foot fetish people already, this might be just a gateway to that. Bill, go ahead.
Can they put like a Band-Aid around their toe?
See,
like
that's
the grappling experts in the UFC, sometimes they'll wrap their ankles just so it's easier for something to grab when they're on the ground.
God, what about powder?
I see. This is why I love this crew. These are the questions that should be asked on the toe wrestling circuit, because it's really hard to find this vagueness. Like I said, the Wikipedia is gone. What I've seen is no enhancements or anything. But that's why I brought up the crusty feet. Because if I'm a serious champion, who's going to want to fucking wrestle with those? Bring those gnarl dogs up, and you might win, because there's nothing against that. Like, you could have, I will make everyone have athlete's foot by the end of the competition, whether win, lose, or draw, because I'm that petty.
I'm forfeiting.
What'd you say, Jay?
So I'm forfeiting.
See? I already got one win.
I've got nasty calluses on both of my feet, dude. I'm down to take pretty much anybody.
See, now it becomes a weird sideshow thing where my feet and Gregory's feet unite and try to just like two gargoyle feet mashed together. Our toenails might collide together and not be able to get apart. You know, like
Do they have a
major
tag
car
team
wreck.
division?
They might. See,
Gator
this is
toes.
why I like Gregory right here. Tag team division. He's already thinking about expanding the sports. They should have a tag team division.
I got a promo lined up right now. Jesus.
Show us your feet.
You call that a big toe? Well, I'm taking it. I'm taking that and him. They're all
Show us your feet, Gregory. Let's see if they match up.
From what I've seen about this,
we're really doing this right now.
Listen,
they're just.
I want to let you guys know. Sorry to cut you off, Bill, but comments are down, but viewers are up. That's pretty messed up. I'm just gonna let everybody know that too.
Your foot looks like a turkey wing.
All right,
y'all guys talking about feet?
That's my Golden Girl socks, buddy. Birthday present. That's the one that set me over the top. Stay golden.
Sexy. All right.
See, we're all showing feet. This got out of hand. All right, we're not supposed to be flexing. This is a flex. We're all showing our toe prowess. But we brought up some instance like, could tape work? Does it hygiene matter? It should, but does it? Injuries. Can you? I want to see like arm wrestling. It says it's like arm wrestling, so I want to see a toe. If it gets like under the pressure, snap like a Dixie plate during Thanksgiving. Like,
that'd be cool.
Yeah. You don't see that on TikTok. Has there been injuries? You know? Well, also, we're going to talk about this bizarre strategy. What do you guys got? I already showed my athlete's foot. What do you guys got if you were in a toe wrestling to win a championship?
I hit you with the heel.
What was that, Jay?
I said I hit you with the heel of my other foot because I'm a cheater.
Oh my God, he's going to scissor kick you in the back of the head, Jay is. Bill, what do you got?
I'm going to say I've spent a lot of time on this show describing how I would crush Tim in a sport. This is where I concede to you, sir.
Thank you.
I want none of your toe wrestling. You got me.
I was going to act pretty brazen with you. I was definitely going to act like I could beat you in this one for sure. Marathon,
you
I was a little talking out of my pocket. But Dino, do you have any just not play? Is that how you're winning?
Oh my God!
You get extensions.
Oh well, that adds a whole new thing.
I know.
Can you sharpen your toenails for the match?
Might put those in my mouth.
They come pre-sharpened.
Only the guy in fucking county jail would say something like that. All right, sharpening nails. Jeez. Love it.
Let our viewers know. Yeah, I see you. I'm not going to acknowledge you because you're not commenting. So let's just let you know.
Who would win? Who would win between us?
Well, I got size 14 feet. So
that just is an odd flex right now. I'm just
saying. Listen, I have cut people with my toenails. As a skill set, I'll pinch you with my toes. Just click. And just do a little.
Okay.
So yeah, no, you don't.
So Dino's foot is in the heavyweight division.
Super heavyweight, sir. Shit. Super heavyweight.
I wonder.
Your foot's coming in like Brock Lesnar. You got to lose weight to get in at heavyweight.
Yeah. That seems accurate. That's a story of my whole life.
How do you drop foot weight?
Ooh, that's
only I knew, sir.
You get your bone shaved.
I don't know how to drop regular weight yet.
Yeah.
So I don't know if foot weight would be. That might be rough.
Nightmare on Foot Street. Thank you.
Is that because the sport you're good at is toe wrestling? I mean, essentially, you're just sitting down.
Well, see
like it's less athletic than a bowler.
That adds. Go ahead, Dino. I apologize.
No. I'm just trying to think because the way you have to sit down, you're kind of right on your butt, and I'm old enough that I don't have a butt anymore, so it's just bone. So that's going to be uncomfortable. I feel like I would have to suffer a little bit going through that, but that's just me. I don't know.
You need a lot of strength in your thighs too to try to wrestle down to the ground, man. My leg might cramp up. There's one danger I would be afraid of is my leg just locking up.
I'm thinking we're giving these fucking 4 drunks in the UK too much credit, to be honest. We're not battling Lance Armstrong. They've been pounding warm Guinness all day. I think we could take them. I mean, honestly, if we took it half serious, like beer league style, like half drunk, we could beat them. They'll be full drunk. Like, and this is what perfect segue into it. I think we should have been a sport, because if you think about it, that's the quickest way to be a fucking legend. These guys, legend, invented a sport, became champions because no one else fucking did it, and now Alan Nash was on the fucking Letterman. He was on the Tonight Show. I think maybe Kimmel. I'm sorry, not Letterman, but Kimmel. Like, what the fuck? Like that, I think they just found more of a loophole of being awesome than anything, and that pisses me off. But what do you guys think?
Booger flicking.
Oh, 2 simple words. I just don't think it's going to work in COVID times. I just don't think us flicking COVID, see how far we could get it, even if it's in a sterile environment, may not be the best. I'm just saying. Maybe we get Pritzler to sponsor it. Maybe we can get by with it. But even then, I don't know. Go ahead, Dina.
There's been a request. Can you please remove the picture of Athlete's Foot? We're getting itchy over here. That's from on high. From on high is like, hey, listen, you've made your point. It is a distinct point.
I don't see. That's the thing. I don't have any backed up. Like so it's just going to be fine. We'll go there. We'll do it.
I don't think they understand how long it might have took him to success. Oh, he did get it down. I was going to call in to play your tech skills.
It was more like, I guess, green. That's when you know you do a good, like your green screen looks better. Please put off your image. Oh, but it was a good try. That's what it was. I guess the final question before we wrap up and go into our next segment into this. Is toe wrestling a sport? Would you consider it one, or just a hobby drunks do? This is getting it. So I'm going to, no, it's not a sport, guys. I mean, exchanging athlete's foot, you could do it bowling. You don't need to fucking touch people's feet and go through this shit. Have your beer, go bowling like a normal person. I say no. I leave it open to you guys.
So you're classifying this as like a bar game.
Yeah, like not
darts,
even below darts, but like shuffleboard quality. Below darts for sure.
Washers.
Yeah, okay, even washers. I mean, I really like washers though. Like that's the thing. I even want to put it. Yeah, I would say it's like washers for sure. What do you guys think? We got Dino who's sitting indifferent. He can't even give a shit.
No. I'm so puzzled because somebody already commented. They're like, "Why do most Greek men have big dicks?" And I'm like, "I'm just bothered."
Dino.
I'm pretty sure I know
give
who
this
TJ
energy
is.
off. Everyone's shooting their shot at you lately.
I don't know. I'm a happily married man.
See, I feel neglected, guys. How do you feel? Like this is the first time. I've been with it for the week. Everyone's just like, "Hey, Tim. Hey, Dino. What's up?" Like this is the third time. Oh, I'm jealous. A fucking great jelly over here.
I'm really just confused. This keeps on happening, and I don't know. I don't think I'm giving off that kind of energy, Tim. But with regards to it being a sport, like, listen, it's been going on since 1976. I think it's a semi-pro hobby. I think that would be the best. I don't think you could qualify it as a sport. That seems ridiculous.
Okay, I'll take that. So semi-pro hobby sound like you're a father trying to ease down their kid. Like, oh, it's semi-pro. It's cool. You're like, you should be proud.
Yeah, you're like, it's something that will keep you active during the winter.
Right.
It's good for exercise when, maybe you're not feeling too well. You can still do it. And
so we got to
maybe train alone.
Yeah, we got to maybe.
Guys, no bar game should start with now take off your shoes and lay on your back.
So I think we got 2 no's definite because
that's what she said. So I got one question.
Yeah, let me hear it, man.
This is the most important question. Are we getting paid to do this?
Feet, toe wrestling.
Exactly.
You know what? I can guarantee not, because no one even said anything about prize money. They said that you do get a trophy that was made in the 70s.
So it's not a sport.
What I can tell you, though, is I guarantee if you're taking off your shoes and laying down to toe wrestle in a bar, there's betting going on.
True.
Damn it, Bill.
Yeah.
Like, all right, that opens up even more things. Like, how can you tell the odds on toe? Would it just be even matchup, or it's like Alan Nasty Nate or whatever, the 14-time champion? He's definitely going to have better odds. Like, would it be Vegas odds or just straight up?
Straight up.
I think you'd almost have to. Oh, dude, it'd be funny if you had like your fucking casino type person there. It's like, hey, I got a deal on the next toe wrestling championship. Alan, he's got a hangnail, ingrown toenail. It's going to be fucking out. I wouldn't bet on him. Like, think about it. Like, it turns into a weird, shitty movie from the 70s. I kind of dig it. I'd watch it at least. So we got all no's and a maybe from Dino. Anyone object? Toe wrestling, sorry, you're a hobby at best. Well, that's what we consider at Sports Balls. That's the verdict. You are not a sport, but you have an entertaining Wikipedia, and you could be a hobby for people to contract different forms of athlete's foot for many generations. So that's something to be proud of. If you guys are out there, what do you guys think of toe wrestling? Is it a sport? Isn't it a sport? Comment what you think below. We appreciate it. Right now, we're going to go into a segue that's more like wrestling. We're going to talk about pro wrestling, but we're not going to talk about it in a normal way because we're sports balls. We like to talk it in a different way. We're going to talk about the history of stabbings in pro wrestling, since that's a topical thing that's happening right now. I wish it wasn't, but we're going to start with the most recent one, and that is, there's a guy named Hannibal. You could check out his YouTube page on Hannibal TV. That is him as the Blood Hunter. He was supposed to do a match, and the ref was supposed to cut themselves. Apparently, he wasn't doing it good enough, so he shoved the spike in his forehead like 9 times. The funniest thing about this is there's still wrestling fans out here that believe it's still all fake. and he didn't sever an artery, and he doesn't have a blood illness and all this stuff. There's still people thinking like, you're all just idiots. It's a work. They planned that spot. The problem is they didn't. He almost cut an artery. He almost died. Blood filled up. Kids were there crying. And that was one of the first ones that happened. What happened that's funny about this, when the cops came, his manager actually said, it's been reported, to kayfabe the cops, which means lie to the cops and say it's all part of the wrestling show. So this is one of the first stabbings from wrestling. Now, in history, there's always been managers that piss people off, and people from the audience tried to stab them, a.k.a. Jim Cornette, various other ones. That's how bad wrestling back in the day was. Hey, Joshua, thank you. And thank you for giving a share and a like and commenting. So that's where that happened. And a lot of people, this happened over the week. Here's the main thing. He stabbed someone about 9 times in the head. He's not arrested. No charges are filed. None of it. So go ahead, Bill. I was hoping you'd have something to say.
Just like the rest of us, the cops know this shit is planned out.
God damn it.
Going into the ring of professional wrestling, you know what the outcome is when you're walking in. If he didn't want to be stabbed 9 times, he shouldn't have went in there. He knew what was coming.
Jeez.
Let me stab somebody 9 times. I'm be sitting right next to Bill.
Are you a pro wrestler?
That's what I'm saying.
That's how you get around it. You gotta work really hard for years and get into pro wrestling, and then write it into the script where you get to stab the ref 9 times. Cops don't it ain't worth our time. He agreed.
You know what's funny though, and I'm not trying to say funny, well, fuck it, it is funny. Bill's funny. That was a funny situation. That's exactly what Hannibal TV said. That's exactly what the guy who stabbed the motherfucker said. He said the ref knew what was happening. What happened was my grip wasn't what it should be, and I really kind of stabbed him a little deeper than I should. But he knew what was going to happen beforehand. Everyone did, and everyone's blown it out of proportion. The problem is Hannibal's main claim to fame isn't his YouTube channel or his wrestling. He actually got hepatitis from another wrestler doing these hardcore matches and was the first person to sue someone. And I could tell he hasn't learned his lesson one bit, as he's still trying to bleed all over everyone in this gym in Nebraska. Gregory, I know we used to do an old wrestling podcast. What do you think about all this, man?
Oh, man. First of all, I can't believe he was dumb enough to think Abdullah the Butcher was going to actually pay him out. It takes like 5 minutes of research to realize he's never paid anybody ever. All it takes is a few videos. Hannibal's just a moron. He's just what gives wrestling a bad name. Like, you just watch any of his videos, and he just talks this monotone voice like, "Hi, I'm Hannibal." And then he travels around a fucking RV. Everything that mud show wrestling is.
Very true. Terms, I will tell, because I know Dino's looking very there. We need to do terms. This is wrestling terms. Mud show wrestling is a throwback to where wrestling became. Wrestling started off at the old circuits, like P.T. Barnum's Sideshow. Right. So therefore, they're basically saying it never evolved. They're still doing carny shit. They're still doing the mud show out back, low grade wrestling show.
Right. Okay.
Tarnishing the product. That's what the outlaw. It's an old Jim Cornette phrase, and I love it. It's basically saying outlaw wrestling show. You see people do near illegal stuff and they act like it's wrestling, but it's really, that's horrible. And we're just talking about one version of it today, but stabbings you could actually go through a whole bunch of them. We're actually going to talk, there is people that do it right, and we're actually going to talk about that later on. It's deathmatch wrestling, and that's where you get real heinous and everything. But Hannibal, that was the first one. Now, one of the most legendary stabbings in wrestling is Bruiser Brody. And this is what's funny about Bruiser. I wouldn't say funny. I keep saying funny, but this is a podcast. What's peculiar about Bruiser Brody is everyone knows who stabbed him. Everyone knows he got murdered. But since it happened in a different country and they believed his gimmick of being a wild, crazy man, they believed the stabbing was justified. So he got away with this. It's back in the 80s. Wrestling was real. These motherfuckers really thought this shit was real. Bruiser Brody went down. I think it was Puerto Rico or Cuba. Do you know for
Puerto Rico?
Yeah. Puerto Rico. Back then, Carlos Colon, the Colones have a great wrestling promotion. He was going to go down there, and the rumor is buy the promotion or get a sizable money income back. Basically, that's. Either way, he had money coming to him, or he was going to try to buy him out.
Right.
Through various things, he meets with one wrestler out in behind a closed door. He gets stabbed till he turns blue, and it takes forever the people to get there. It's actually a very horrible story. You could actually look at Dark Side of the Ring, Vice, I believe season 2 talks about if you want to know more about the thing. Bill, go ahead.
My whole thing is I'm surprised this happened like that in Puerto Rico, because typically from what I've heard, that place is on the up and up.
That's,
the Puerto Rico of the 80s must not be with what I'm familiar with now.
They were historically violent wrestling fans.
Oh yeah, that was true. Like they were the fans that rioted when their hometown person didn't win. And like legitimately win. If it was a draw, they would fucking riot. And
they ran like the soccer game.
The title there once just so they wouldn't riot.
Yeah, was Flair did that? Is that what you said?
I believe so.
Yeah, that's true. He had to because there was people out in the crowd making it very known that, hey, if he doesn't win, I don't think you're going to make it out of this arena. And so wrestling, you go, okay, because it is just a fake choreographer sport, and I'll lay on my back. This is a fake title. No reason to get stabbed over it. And so, but that's what happened. It was that's crazy times.
I mean, wrestling was so good back then.
It's a believable ability. It's something you'll never get back in wrestling. If you're a true wrestling fan, you'll never, because now you know it is what it is. Back then, there was always like, and Bruiser Brody, what? He was, think Brock Lesnar, but untamed. Because he would just go through the crowd. It just, everything that's kind of big you see anyone doing, even maybe an originator of kind of the bad guy you love to cheer type shit.
Oh, yeah, he'd swing that chain around with no regard of who was around him.
Yeah.
And that's awesome. What sucked, though, too. It was so believable that when it came to a point where it was in the trial, they actually believed, that's Bruiser. He was going to kill you. You only stabbed him 5 times? You're lucky you made it out alive. And it's like, what? You look back at it now, it's insane.
That's horrible.
It is. Which goes to our guy our last of our stabbing trio, New Jack.
Hey, I got it right.
New Jack, amazing man. He actually just did pass away this year. I'm not going to feel bad talking about him because New Jack wouldn't want it that way either. He would want real shit because he's a real gangster. So we're not going to hold back on fucking New Jack because those are his words. So New Jack is a real motherfucker. Okay, New Jack, just on a side note before we get into his stabbing history, he did also do a match with a guy named Gypsy Joe with where he took a barbed wire bat and proceeded to beat him upside the head with it in front of people. This was a match. He did it because the crowd was rumored in yelling racial slurs at him. New Jack don't play that shit. And New Jack did, and also Gypsy Joe was being stiff is wrestling terms for really hitting him, and he wasn't playing with that. So he really hit him back. We're going to talk about the first most infamous New Jack incident, Mass Transit. This has almost ruined ECW before it started. He was going to wrestle a late entry kid who faked his credentials to be there. He did wrestle some, but nothing on this level. He was wrestling these hardcore people that cut themselves. And he didn't know how to do it. So he came up to New Jack disrespectfully and said, "Hey, New Jack, can you cut my forehead?" So New Jack said, "Yes. Yes, I can." And in
I bet you he came when he asked him that.
Oh my God. You should see his eyes when he talks about this. He did a little bit. He had to change his drawers. When it came to the time, he used to have this piece of wood that had an X-Acto knife at the end of it. And he said, "I sliced that motherfucker up." Sliced him so hard that it almost nicked his artery and blood was shooting off. There's a rumor that the kid, when he got stabbed, looked twice and then screamed a scream. No one's like, that was the main thing people remember the night was the yells of this kid and the bloody handprints he was leaving behind because the kid was still playing wrestler or keeping kayfabe through all this. And dead serious. Man. Still the whole time he's like, "I'm one of the boys. I'm one of the boys." Like, no, they don't want you to be. They stabbed you. You are not one of the boys, bro. New Jack got away with it because these are all stories. The reason you're going to find they all connect. New Jack got away with it because the kid asked him to stab him. That's how he got away with it.
Look at have been my kid. I would have stabbed his ass too when he got home.
His dad actually brought him to that match.
Oh, his dad deserves to get stabbed too.
His dad brought him there and then shouted some very unpleasant things at New Jack, which didn't help the situation and was used against him in court to get New Jack off as well. Not kidding.
All around, I feel sorry for none of them.
There's a little bit of phrasing though. They helped New Jack off in court.
There we go. That's a good joke.
Yeah,
God, it was getting heavy.
Got a little heavy there, buddy.
Well, it shouldn't be. I thought it was more like New Jack's a crazy motherfucker. What do you got, Dino?
Well, no, I watched the video where they were interviewing him, and he was saying how there was the other guy who's like, no, we can do this. We can go hardcore. And New Jack's like, hey, are you sure? Because can we do this? And the guy's like, yep, we can do whatever you want. Yep, we can do whatever you want. So the problem was he didn't know any of the lingo. However, he had signed off to run it as a hardcore match. And when it did go to court, the guy's like, you know what? I'll drop the charges if you promise to train me. And New Jack's like, hell yeah. He's like, great. Drop the charges. New Jack left Florida. that is top tier sportsmanship. He's like, I'm off from the charges. Later. Just smooth.
It's great. It's great. My favorite quote from it was, they said I stabbed him 14 times. Stabbed him 9. I counted.
It's on the camera. You can see. It's only 9. Okay.
9. I was like, what the fuck? That's brutal as shit.
Wow.
That's brutal as shit.
Like, listen, man,
he was never quite right after that Vic Grimes fall, was he?
Yeah, well, we'll talk about that. New Jack used to dive off crazy shit. Well, he had a guy about my size, dude, Dino size. We're big 300-pound dudes, and they were going to jump off a balcony into tables. Well, the big motherfucker had a conscience and knew that was a bad idea and was a little scared. You know what New Jack did?
Pushed him?
Brought him down with him. The problem was he fell on his skull.
Oh! That's not funny, Tim.
No.
You let me laugh a long time for that.
It is funny. You don't bring a 300-down man on you and think, oh, what's going to happen? They'll fall on your skull and you sneeze brain fluid.
It was a really bad decision.
He's going to bounce off you.
I feel bad for this dude. He did cause and effect and lost. That's what happened. Well, here's the part. He goes to wrestle this guy again. He's a little bit mad because he's blind in one eye, brain damage. So they have a scaffold match, which is fucking stupid. You're in the scaffolds, and the first person to fall off the scaffolds to the ring below and not die, the guy on the top wins. The guy at the bottom still wins because he's not dead. Well, here's what really happened. New Jack, to get back at him, took a taser and tased him so much that Vic Grimes couldn't feel his legs, and then threw him off the scaffolding that he was 3 inches away from death. He actually hit the turnbuckle rope and bounced in. That's all that saved him.
Wow.
This is
ending on a good note.
Motherfucker.
New Jack wasn't a wrestler. That's what I was trying to say. New Jack was fucking New Jack. And if you watched wrestling, you knew about it. You didn't fuck with this dude, bro. And here we go to the whole circumference, the meaning of it all. It's been 20 minutes. All these people stabbed someone, and no one got arrested. If you want to there you go. There's your loophole. You can become a fucking pro wrestler, and apparently that's what you can do inside the ring. And not a single arrest, nothing. If anything, we're talking about it, and there's some people on the internet going, I don't think it's real. And some guy's like, ow, my head. Like,
sign me up, coach.
Sign me up. Oh, man. Yeah, that's true. Like, New Jack's like the new Candyman. Like, that might be the real. I'm dead fucking serious.
God damn it, I wish.
You say, like, what? It's not a mirror, because if you look at what would it be? If a kendo stick or something like that?
A shined toilet. A shined steel toilet. That makes sense. He reflects off the stainless steel.
That's horrible.
Oh, look,
Bill, don't be saying
that looks like the image. Like that looks. Yeah, that's pretty fair.
Yeah, I never seen him actually have a wrestling match growing up. His music would play. He would drag out a trash can full of things to hit people with, and his music would just continue to play as he just hit people with whatever was in the trash can.
It was Tupac and Dr. Dre, wasn't it? Natural Born Gangsters or something. It was an old hardcore hip hop track, and he would the whole time it's blaring, he's just banging guitars, stuff like that. But
yeah, he was always beating up the baldies.
New Jack was the first ever, I would say, successful wrestler to blend. He was him. New Jack wasn't anybody but him. And like Hulk Hogan is Terry Bollea. New Jack's fucking New Jack, and people sometimes would talk to him like he wasn't, and he would stab you 9 times and count every time. And God rest in peace wherever you rest in peace, New Jack.
Great promo.
We miss you. We miss you in wrestling. But final thoughts on stabbing in wrestlings. Was it a weird trip? Like I tried to bring you on something a little bit informative this week and different.
It's definitely something new for me.
It's a face only your mother can love.
I've been out of the wrestling game for a long time. Like in my day, it was rare that the guy would run under the ring and get a steel chair.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm out. You're just hitting people with weapons now.
Yeah,
I'll just watch live leak videos.
That's what a lot of people are saying. Purists is it isn't even like wrestling at that point. It's getting into some weird, like car crash, hobo fight territory, stuff like that.
Yeah, well, I mean, those who can wrestle, those who can't do hardcore and hit each other with ladders.
That's real. Well, if we've seen the picture quite a bit, and it's alarming. Every time we show a picture of New Jack, you see all those scars in his forehead.
Oh, yeah.
Those are from him actually cutting himself. That's how they do it. Like when he starts bleeding, he's literally someone's cutting him open, or he gets hit with something blunt, he turns around, cuts himself a little bit right there. Those are all times in wrestling that's how you can tell someone's big into hardcore wrestling. Their whole fucking forehead looks like hamburger meat. And it's a whole different weird thing. This is what I'll say personally on this. I'm not a fan of it, but I'm intrigued the fuck out of it why anyone would do this, because most of these people are doing it for like $20. You think comics are stupid for traveling 3 states to get booed out of the state? These motherfuckers, I'm gonna travel 3 states, then throw my body through 3 planes of glass and light tubes. Go ahead, Bill.
I'm not sure what the equivalent is, but I hate when you question wrestling being real. And the first thing you said was he stabbed him 9 times. That's not the shit I'm calling fake. Like they walk away like they really won a fight. Like you didn't win a fight. You didn't beat a guy at wrestling.
It is. Well, I guess that's what it is. What we got now, and the new wrestling's MMA. That's all it is. They used all the old MMA tactics, but now it's for real, and it's hard. It's hard to compete with that. I don't care how many fucking flips you go off Brett's rope, or how many elbow drops, little gimmicks you got. When someone kicks some dude in the face and they stiffen up like an ironing board, you're like, oh yes, subscribe. Like you start saying Joe Rogan shit, just simple verbs like rocks, yeah, like it's fucking amazing.
All right, so now I'm waiting for the UFC failures that start doing their own hardcore thing because they can't make it in the UFC.
They're called Andre Arlovski.
How do you take MMA up a notch?
Well, they're doing it now. Like if you can't, Conor McGregor's rumored to be doing wrestling soon once he gets out. But Matt Riddle is a former MMA guy.
I'm not talking about MMA going to wrestling. Oh. I'm talking about making MMA more hardcore.
Oh,
guys that can't cut it in the big leagues,
like the end of fucking Bloodsport where they got the tape and they put it in glass and they start.
Wait till you get some more of these old school failures. Like somebody's gonna start a thing, and the guys that really want to do it but can't make it will join.
An electrified octagon with moat of piranhas. Just in case Khabib wants to jump over like a motherfucker again, or Connor. You got a moat full of piranhas. That's more safety for the crowd. I'm thinking ahead. And that's just a gimmick, too. That's great. The little kiddies could feed the piranhas before the show.
No. I like the electrified fence idea.
Oh, you can tell how stupid I am. I have electrified fence next to the piranha tank. What could go wrong?
Hey, that sparks makes the show fancy. It's okay.
The first ever draw by double electrocution.
Yeah. It's pyrotechnics. So the shirtless dad with Try's version just wanted to say that he shared to the ignorant stuntmen of pro wrestling group. Thank you very much.
Appreciate it. Did Jay get scared and drop his phone? Is Jay okay?
Jay is looking for snacks.
Oh well, no. Well then he's all right.
Maybe a treadmill, son. That's
oh.
Hey, and a man's ear. Maybe a man's ear.
Oh, he's good.
Needs some support.
Jay giving us the premium look. You could only get his OnlyFans account right there. Oh, the POV spot. Did we have
That's right.
Dino, did he ever show?
Which one? Sorry?
Did he ever show or
no?
All right, fuck him.
Dustin Diamond sucks.
Well, who would have thought the scumbag Dustin Diamond would be such a scumbag and ditches twice?
Well, it doesn't say unprofessional scumbag, just scumbag. So,
I'll kick his ass.
I kind of saw it coming because I watched the stuff online and everyone else talked for him. So I thought, well, how the hell is he going to do a talking podcast if we don't fucking talk? So
why doesn't he get somebody to talk for him and do the goddamn show?
That's why I should talk to his manager, Necro Butcher, or something. But he wants money. All these people want like was it $50 at a 3 free beer chips or something like Carney wages. Like, oh, come on, Dino. Don't feel bad.
I'll have you know, sir.
I feel a little bit bad.
My cousin. I have a cousin that runs the Tilt-A-Whirl, and you couldn't get him for $50. Stop giving these guys credit for being Carney level.
Thank you.
Really, we're talking about the manager of a hardcore wrestler.
Well,
like,
yeah, he's
tell me you don't have the balls to do something without telling me you don't have the balls to do it.
Well, I will
say, if he was anything himself, he'd be the wrestler.
He probably got scared because he does perform in a place where you have to bring your own seating. So he probably thought he had to bring his own chair and could afford one. Just like, nah, fuck it, I'm gonna move on. But Dalton, I hope you like the ribs, man. It's all in good fun. But seriously, fuck you. I hope Cash Borden kicks your ass December 30th and retains the title. You scumbag. How's that promo? Is that a good promo, Gregory? What do you think?
Yeah, straight to the point.
It's got a little bit of Cornette in it. It's a mixture of Paul Heyman and me being a dick.
I can dig it. I can dig it.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, you'd have to call him a mud show goof a couple of times to get the Cornette in, but as far as I've seen from him, I'm not too far from it.
Go ahead, Bill.
If somebody ever told me they hope I'm second best, I'm cool with that. Like, that's a compliment. Like, you told him you're fighting for the title. I hope you don't win it. All right, you're the second best.
If you're not first, you're last.
It is a bring your own weapons match, December 30th. Maybe someone can give him a Podcasting for Idiots book it could use during the match. He could use it during the match and read it afterwards. It just it's a circle thing. It's one of the it keeps helping. It's a gift that keeps on giving. Think more about yourself than this season, guys. Come on. Christmas is more than one day a year. I shouldn't have to say that. But we had a backup. Yes, I got this shitty grid. Go ahead, Bill.
I feel like I've never even wrestled like that, and I got a chance to win. The weapon I bring is a gun. Like, when does it get to that level? We've been talking about stabbings. When is there going to be a wrestling shooting?
I think that's the game
show. As soon as the fucking bell rings.
I do believe that is the game show Running Man or New Age. What would? Oh dear Lord!
I don't think you can. What was it?
It would
what was the one with Van Damme where they're hunting all the vets and stuff? He's like, "How does it feel to be hunted?"
Hard Target.
You guys remember? Yeah, Hard Target. That was the one. Yeah, that's what Bill wants to play.
All I know is if we're making Hard Target references, the podcast has went astray. We're never coming back. If we make a Time Cop reference, we're getting canceled.
No.
God,
I mean, it's a thing where they can't keep doing the same thing. Like, sure, the guys that grew up watching it, that's what they like. But then they have to take it up a level to get the new audience in. There's new people turning 18 every day. So what worked for 10 years might not work for the next 10. How are you going to take it up from where they're at?
You're not wrong. In wrestling,
I know they're already running around like Negan.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. In wrestling, they saw these stabbings. So MLW 2 years ago did a fake stabbing in the ring where Low-Ki stabbed another wrestler, but it was all fake. But they did it staged in the ring. Bill makes an interesting question. What a lot of people are saying, when is enough enough? Because the progression is only going to get to a point. When you see some of these deathmatch wrestlers doing all these crazy stuff, mostly the reason, Bill, I hate to say it because of these shitty producers, the reason guns aren't there, it's because state law will pull their licenses. There's still some laws saying you can't bring firearms into these places. If there was a way around it, pro wrestling would still try to make a gimmick out of it. Guaranteed. Go ahead, Bill.
Just put blanks in the gun. So you can't shoot anybody from a distance. But if you put that shit right to him and pull the trigger, it's going to hurt him.
Yeah.
If you're good enough to wrestle him down and get him in the forehead, you win. Kill.
Yeah, but some jackass is going to point at someone's eye and pull the trigger and go, "Oh, I didn't know there was still dust in there or something."
He's going to shoot your eye out.
Yeah, they've been calling it a death match for years, and I haven't seen any of them die.
I think AEW knows for that first exploding ring death match they had. Let's get a real exploding ring in there. Anybody caught in the crossfire? I mean, are we really going to miss him?
As Bill said before to the ref, they knew what they were signed up for.
Exactly.
They knew what they were going into.
They bought the ticket. That's what they wanted.
Bill makes a good point, though. That's what a lot of people are saying. What's the line? Because Bill's saying they should bring in, the line. There is no lines at this point. They've gone crazy, so they could bring in blanks. And at that point, is it wrestling or simulated like Hitman cosplay? Like, what was it turned it loses wrestling? I think that's what a lot of people purists was. But definitely a good dude. Fucking right. I like that conversation. That was amazing. We're going to leave it there because once guns get involved, I just think it's best to probably just leave it there. Especially,
just so you know, our audience has said that the line is Alec Baldwin. Alec Baldwin is the line with regards to bringing guns.
I just saw that. I can't believe I did see that.
Well, we're really going to put blanks in the gun and not let Alec Baldwin wrestle. So...
what a wrestling show that would be. It's Alec Baldwin! Oh my God!
Wait, what is
Billy Baldwin's coming with the chair.
Look out for Alec Baldwin?
He's got to come with like a presidential seal with a gun hidden inside of it. I feel like that would be the whole picture.
Yes.
Match loser has to fight a bear. Oh, that's fair.
That's very true. Well, Gregory's got to win. He ate bear today, it looks like. Like, at least knows the taste of a gamey bear and the best way to use fresh wild berries to get that gameness out of it.
He also knows how to influence the Tsar's wife in Russia. Like, why does he look like Rasputin, man? What's up with that?
He got 17 gunshots.
And castration. And drowning, It's men used to be men, people. They didn't complain about getting stabbed in the ring 9 times.
That was just a Tuesday.
Yeah, that's called sportsmanship. Try it.
So I have big news. Is the last show of the year of 2021. So we must give out the winners of the Sports Ballz 2021 Hall of Fame.
Cottage cheese.
Well, no,
cheese.
we're going to get the cottage cheese lost. Now, see, each of the crew panel here are going to vote on 2 spots, but the crowd out there got to vote on 1 spot, and by an overwhelming decision, Brandon, the Garbage Disposal Clark, is your first shoe-in for the Hall of Fame. So please give it up for Brandon Clark. Woo! That's about the response we should get for a sports ball.
I clap half-heartedly.
Yes.
If he wants my full support, I want to see him eat 8 pounds of cottage cheese.
So, as you can tell, cottage cheese is a hot button topic here at Sports Balls.
A little bit.
It has been for a while. And
I'll
that's
even allow
why
him
I'm
to
going to
put
be
a
the
little
first
sugar on
because
it before he eats it.
I'm the host. I'm going to be the first to say it. My vote for another entry for the 2 spots will be cottage cheese. Cottage cheese, we will not let you down. Small curd, large curd, we're there for you. So all we need is a majority, and cottage cheese will rule. We got what Jay is in there. Bill's giving up. Gregory, what do you think?
Yeah, why not? Cottage cheese.
Gregory fell into pure pressure. He doesn't even give. It's that Miller Lite that's helping to get it over. Tino, it's kind of mute at this point. But what do you feel about cottage cheese?
I've said it before. And I'll say it again. That you people are monsters. You don't deserve better than hot dogs when it comes to meat. Okay. If you're gonna say that cottage cheese belongs in a lasagna, you're not just wrong. You're not just wrong, but charges will be laid. Charges will be laid for your actions.
Well,
It's just too far.
I'm sorry. Just like lasagna, cottage cheese belongs in that. And now the Sports Ballz Hall of Fame. And here's my reasoning for it. You might think it's heinous, but Ray Lewis is in the Hall of Fame. And
Uncle Ray.
You don't know? Oh, for Dino, since it's a project. Ray Lewis is an NFL football player that killed a guy. So, like,
one of the greatest middle linebackers of all time.
The greatest ever. Just like Lawrence Taylor. Don't look up his rap sheet either. But he was one of the greatest football players of all time, too. Something about greatness, man, and football. Not good combination.
OJ.
Huh. I am not allowed. So moving on. Cottage cheese moved in. A lot of people thought Rihanna should be
all
there,
those champions,
but I don't know who.
Like I said, if he eats 8 pounds, I'll change my vote.
Tito's just done.
He can even put a little sugar on it if he wants.
That's a Midwest thing. We put a little sugar on everything.
Just up to 8 pounds in the lasagna and go for it.
It's called diabetes, is what you guys have, okay? Why would you put sugar on cottage cheese? Exactly. What?
Sugar tastes good on anything.
Yeah.
No, that's definitely called diabetes. I'm like 100% sure about that. Okay.
I'm gonna volley back to you. Why wouldn't you put sugar on cottage cheese? Like, that's a bigger question, I think.
I feel pain having to explain how taste and flavor work to grown men. It really hurts my brain.
You will not make fun of my octopus hot dogs that I put on my spaghettis and ramen noodles.
What other lasagna ingredients do you hate?
Everything.
Lasagna noodles don't go in lasagna. That's for.
It's just a noodle casserole, okay? If you put cottage cheese and noodles into a tin, it's a noodle cheese casserole.
Oh my god!
I'm not saying you can't put it together. I'm saying you're a horrible person for it, but don't go calling it lasagna.
No.
Okay, it's not lasagna.
My wife makes the best lasagna ever.
As long as there's at least 2 layers of noodles before you get to the cottage cheese, it's not a casserole. It's a lasagna.
It's definitely not.
Well, definitely not. All the non-Italian Nebraskans I know say different.
Why do they get a vote? They don't get a vote. It's just not a thing. Why are Nebraskans voting on what goes into a good lasagna? They don't have
You've been to Nebraska, sir. What else is there to do? You vote on cheese.
You know what? I don't think you guys understand what kind of power I have here. Okay, here's what you get. Okay? How dare you? How dare you say things about lasagna?
Warfare on us?
Yeah.
Like, is that what was?
Oh my god!
Oh, make me bust out in the like you had to break glass for that meme, huh? With your little hair, critique. You've gone too far.
He was waiting to pull that card out for a minute.
He was.
Well, I saw, and it was cottage cheese relevant, so I was like, you know what? That's gonna get thrown into everyone's face because I had to see it. So now you guys do too. Listen, it's petty, but I'm pretty sure that's the flavor of the week, okay? It's not on me, okay? We've been seeing a lot of pettiness. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of it. And you know what? I'm happy with Brandon Clark, the garbage disposal. He deserves the win. He was a great guest. He was fun and exciting. However, I can't. Cottage cheese is not. You can love cottage cheese. You know what? That's fine. Just don't call it lasagna. It is a noodle casserole at best.
Well, you're gonna really hate it next week when you have to put a yellow jacket on a cottage cheese lasagna for our Hall of Fame acceptance ceremony. I didn't mean to tell you. It's making this really awkward that I got to tell the Stofers what's up. I mean, I'm just saying. I will keep you guys separated. That's what I'll say. But cottage cheese is officially in. We got one more spot, guys. I'll leave it open for cases. Irony Lady, Big James Mayhem from Slap Mountain, Michael Rappaport. Because I don't really remember the inside joke about Michael Rappaport, but he's
like Robert Swift.
Yes,
Robert Swift is pretending he's a Wish.com version of Michael Rappaport. Yes,
that's convoluted as fuck, and I love it. So, Michael, so what we got? Open floor. Anybody?
Rappaport.
Got Rappaport.
Never. That guy is trash.
I'm not going to do that.
That was your joke.
I know it was my joke, but we're not voting him to win. If cottage cheese is in the lead, like obviously the garbage disposal is right behind the cottage cheese. Like who else?
Yeah, that's true.
No,
I'd have to agree.
It's
with
cottage
that.
cheese and then Brandon the garbage disposal.
It's definitely not. It's definitely not.
I mean, in
don't debase the show with that.
No, what I will say,
notion.
American election wise, he is correct, and for 50% of the country, that's just statistics. 50% of the country believe cottage cheese won, and it was just rigged. I'm just saying what I saw on our Discord. That is not existent. So
listen, just look at the comment. TJ Edwards, cottage cheese and lasagna. I thought there was a public education in the USA. I guess not. Okay.
Obviously, he hasn't read about the education in the USA. Like I thought you guys were better where you're from. Now you're letting us down. Jesus Christ, we're just disappointing people now. Hell, I'll say it, ironing lady, because I think she deserves it. Look, she's a fucking trooper. She did extreme ironing in a river. It wasn't even no plugins anywhere. She didn't let that deter her. My vote's for the ironing board lady. So no one's on that train. So fuck that.
No, no, seriously, I'm gonna go for Mayhew, man, because he was a badass.
We got
NFL football player, fucking whipped ass. And he had a sport a fucking mullet.
It's true. So we got Big James Mayhem, the Slap Mountain team, Game of Thrones style. He was part of the whole cousin group out there at the Slap Mountain crew. Anyone else want to second that?
I'd rather vote for Slap Mountain than any other food product. Just gonna.
Dino, where are you in the past? It's in the Hall of Fame. I'm sorry, man. I don't know what to tell you. Like
I don't have to acknowledge it. Not my president. Not my president.
Nothing. I'm thinking about Rappaport just because, like, he talks a lot of shit for a pasty ginger, and I respect that. Like, but there he is, just talking shit anyway. You gotta respect that.
I hate to say it, but I think Gregory won me over with that. I'm going to go Rappaport too. Team Rappaport on that. As long as Jay keeps his votes, we may have a third entry. We may have. Jay, are you changing it? It all crutches on you. Did Gregory bring one in but send you away with his speech? How do you feel?
Well, I mean, I'm gonna stick with what I got, man. I mean, Rappaport, he's a fucking fucked up dude, though. You know, all this shit he be talking on TikTok, and he's retarded. I'm gonna just say the least. But I'm gonna have to stick with the badass Mayhew, man, because, like I said, he rocks a fucking mullet. He played in the NFL. He was cutthroat in college, and if he wouldn't have did what he did in college, he wouldn't have made it to the NFL. You know, I love football, so I had to stick with the mullet, man.
I'm going to bring up. I love you, Jay, and I'm going to bring up the fact that because none of these other people's so-called friends are just letting you keep talking about it. Big James Mayhem, you got mixed up with the quarterback of the Eagles.
Fuck my life. Minshew.
We could definitely put in. But I was
God,
trying to
man.
settle with the Slap Mountain James Mayhem, but you're very serious about this guy going to college. And anyone that's seen James Mayhem knows he's not a college guy. So
I had the names mixed up, man. Y'all just
I had to.
Fuck it. I'm gonna go get my gun and shoot myself.
No, don't go full New Jack. That's what we want to learn.
God.
Never go. He didn't do that, New Jack. Lord, you're giving Dino an aneurysm. Don't do that.
It's been a long weekend, Tim. It's been a long weekend, and I'm on hour 54 of no cigarettes. This is not doing good things to my brain. My brain is.
Well,
oh my God.
So, big James Mayhem, great quarterback for the Eagles, but also a Slap Mountain guy. Do you guys think you and Dino? It's on you guys. I say no. Gregory says no. You're the swing vote right now. So, Bill, Dino, which one is it going to be? Rappaport or Mayhem?
Rappaport. I will never vote for Rappaport.
Yeah, you can't.
That guy
not in polite society. That's not. Rappaport doesn't get voted into anything. That's
sorry, man. Rappaport, you didn't make it. So it looks like our top three is Brandon, the garbage disposal Clark,
right?
Cottage Cheese, which is America's number one in their hearts, and Big James Mayhem as rounding out our Sports Balls Hall of Fame. Please check out Slap Mountain, Brandon Clark's YouTube channel and Facebook, and buy some Prairie Farms cottage cheese or Dean's. Pretty good shit. Salt and pepper that shit. Put a little sugar on it. Think of Dino when you eat it.
You know what? I wasn't going to put this comment up, but there you go. There you go. Somebody else commented. Okay?
Yeah, just because he says it twice doesn't make it any more true.
Well, that's an opinion. And it's not in writing, so fuck it.
What I will say about Dino's IQ, we have the bar set so low, you just have to step over the goddamn bar, Dino. So
also true.
I mean,
fine. That is,
but also, I don't know if that's true. I'm gonna have to say Jay might be a secret intelligence guy here. He just has that look, like he's. Don't give Jay that look of disrespect, sir.
I will. I have, sir. Okay? If he can't support his front, he's not supporting his head. I'm sorry. It's just he needs some support. It's not on me.
Bill.
You're not exactly needing to win a pole vaulting competition to get over the bar around here.
Also true. That is factual.
I think but no, if anything, that shows that we're being very transparent and open to our audience, that they could tell immediately who's the intellectual powerhouse. No one complimented on my tie, so I'm a little upset about that. Usually at least one.
Couldn't see it. It's blended in.
I know, it's the green screen, and it's blended into my thing. I don't try. Hashtag awful host. Tom Ross, what are you doing, my producer?
Tom Ross, menace to society.
Yeah. So yeah, I appreciate it. I was expecting a few same initial people to come in, but we didn't get any, and I was a little bummed about that, but maybe next time. Shirtless Dad, thank you. You can actually Shirtless Dad will be at the New Year's Eve show as well. This providing a song for us, so that's gonna be pretty badass.
It's mostly him just telling off old lovers. I heard the song. It's just him.
Well, yeah, but that's country music. Well, you can't poke a hole in a whole goddamn genre, Dino. Like the Greeks, man.
Pretty sure that's how we have sex with it.
Yeah.
Final plugs before we get here, because you never know. The way we talk, this will probably be the final episode of Sports Balls. So get your plugs in now. Anything got going on this week or coming up? I know the idiot says what? Marathon's December 31st. It's going to start at 1 Central, going all the way till 9 Central. Eastern, add an hour. Come on, you know how time zones work. Bill will be there. Gregory will be there. Me and Dino will be there all day, never showering, smelling like cheese. But not cottage cheese.
No.
A fancier cheese.
Like a Gruyere. Maybe a blue cheese. Maybe a brie. It's got a little fluid to it. Sure, a brie.
Before we get out of here, I do have some big announcements for Sports Balls. Want to say thank you to the Artists United Network, based out of AUN. Jay knows them. They have decided to pick up Sports Balls as well as IU. Idiot Says What for reruns. They'll be showing some of our highlights and classic hits starting in mid-January. So please check them out and be a look on it. If you want more of us, catch some old episodes, but you don't feel like going to the playlist on YouTube and hitting that back. But Artists United will do it for you. We'll here to entertain you on a weekend in a solid 3 to 4 hour block. And please check out all the great stuff they got there as well. I do believe they have a podcast going every day.
Yes, they do.
They do every day, and they got some great talent. It's all local, independent artists. Support local, shop local, and do all that stuff. Bill, do you have anything before we head out?
No, I can't remember it.
Please donate to the Patreon so we could bail Bill out of jail and find where the fuck Gary is. Patreon, please do it. $1 will help. Have you seen Gary and Bill? Have you seen?
I've been retracing Gary's steps, and that's how I got to where I'm at.
It's like a weird
halfway there
up a Carmen San Diego game, and it's just never ends. Just more and more parole and probation.
Where's Gary?
Where's Gary? I don't know. Don't ask me. I'm going on the record. Thank you, Serge.
Sports Bar rules.
Do you have anything going on? Gregory's cool. Why don't you just check out Gregory and his musings?
Oh, I thought you said Gary. I was wondering who the fuck Gary was. No,
I may actually have.
I'm doing Dick.
Doing Dick. That's nice.
That's what
I've heard good things.
No judgment.
Yeah, you know when you're done.
Well, Gregory, you can see him here next week. Actually, check out all his abusings on Facebook. I'm sure he posts on there if you want to get more interactive with the crew. Gregory is a big fan of wrestling. He'll love to talk to you about that all day. Don't be a dick. Dino, you have anything coming up? Generation Dan, how's that going?
Generation Dan has been really good. We actually we have episodes that are coming out every Thursday. If you follow the Twitter, Generation Dan Pod, or go to the YouTube, they have uploads every Thursday as well. We have Idiot Says What is on Tuesday, and this week, big week, is we are still have a list of like 500 people that are going to be coming on to our New Year's Eve marathon because we wanted to give back to the people, unlike cottage cheese, which it just takes and takes and takes and takes. So
I noticed the bitterness in your voice about our Hall of Fame, but I'm sorry, it's already set in stone.
Cottage cheese is really living in your head rent free right now.
But not in my taste buds. That is a you problem. So
it's really awesome.
I think you saying eating cottage cheese being my problem is like when somebody calls me ugly. I can't see my face, so that doesn't matter. If I'm really ugly, that's your problem. You're the one looking at me.
If you look really hard into those toilets in jail, you'll see your face. Don't worry, it's there.
That Bill's
no,
theory
I spend
works.
so little time looking in the mirror. Like I don't have to be confronted with my ugliness all the time. That is other people's issue, and if you can't deal with it, then fuck off.
Bill makes a good point about everything except if it's your parents and you're ugly, because then you're resembling of them and they kind of not hate that. You're like, you got all I look like that? Jesus. Catch this ball. You can't catch either. God. So
you're assuming I had a dad around? Like I have to give my mom double the anger. I can't be mad at my dad for being ugly because I don't know him.
We all know we were raised by single parents, the majority on this panel, but we at least give the benefit of a doubt because that's what we here do at Sports Balls. We try not to point out the obvious. We let you do that, Bill.
I mean, look, I'm
Over
retracing
and
his
over.
steps too. Currently stuck in a Florida prison in 1986. I haven't been able to find anything since that bid was done, but somebody's out there. Maybe. Keep looking.
Sounds like
Lord.
you guys got travel.
You can check us out on Twitch for God's sake.
Shit.
They've allowed us to stream there as well. Idiot Says What is on 4 different networks going on right now. Please check that as well. Bill's always doing something awesome. I know January's slow for a whole bunch of comics, but I don't think Bill's slowing down.
January 8th, Omaha, Nebraska, Wired Pub and Grill. That's all I've got for January. There's another gig that's private. First Saturday night in February, Backline in Omaha, 10 p.m.
Nice.
Comedy After Dark. That's where we get dirty. There's no limits there. Come fuck with us.
Great club, man. Definitely check that out if you're a fan of comedy. It's real awesome. And the Wired Pub and Grill, friend of the show, Scott Zimmerman, performs there a lot as well, I do believe.
That's
a lot
who
of good
booked me.
Great people out there. Very funny area. Highly underrated. Definitely check those guys out. Jay, does Mary Jane have anything going on you want to plug?
Yes, we do. She has 7 shows from the beginning of January to the middle of February booked already for the year. And she's steady getting more and more. So
Mary Jane's fan of the show as well. You could see her interview in ISW highlights nestled in with Idiot Says What. She's blowing up, and I knew she would in 2022. So that's awesome to hear. Is it Mary Jane? Does she have a Facebook page or just?
Yes. So she has a Mary Jane fans only page. She's on Facebook as well as Mary Sherrod, TikTok Mary Sherrod, Instagram, Twitter, Mary Sherrod. So you can find her and you can catch her with Tim Loss performing comedy as well from time to time. So
yeah, that's the plan. Well, I told her last time she got a standing O at the last one of my shows. She did. So I told her after that, I was like, I don't know if I could afford you anymore. You're just too good. So that was all jokes, but she is killing it. She's a solid 45 minutes, 60 of just great stuff. Please check her out live and on her social medias. I think that's about it for us here at Sports Balls. We like to thank you guys for coming in. I know we're changing formats and doing anything. If you have a sport we haven't tried, please comment below. We'd like to talk about it. Any sports stories, please do that. Do you think toe wrestling is a sport? Please comment on that. And what do you feel about the controversy about cottage cheese? Should it even be here? Is it ridiculous? We're not even talking about ricotta. What's going on here on Sports Balls? Is this even a sports podcast? I don't know. Dino, I'm out unless you got anything else.
That's it.